Hey, hello. I just made a whole video and it was way too long and then it glitched and whatever. So I'm gonna start, and the last video I was just answering one question and it got to 15 and a half minutes. So I'm gonna try this again and I'll bunch a few different questions together and try to answer them a little quicker. It was about the food. By the way, thanks for asking all the questions. And by the way, the mastery template is available for just $3. There's a code down below, and you go to organicsoul.com, and it's right on the homepage. Put in the code, $3 for the mastery template. Okay. The question was about my diet. What inspired me to be raw vegan? How long was I raw vegan for? And then how did I realize it wasn't right for me? And now what do I eat? I'm sure you can see why that took me 15 and a half minutes. Actually, probably 10 minutes of it was me just going into the whole vegan thing, because it's just such a big, crazy thing. Anyways, I've been studying and researching life since I was like 15, and I learned about high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, monosodium glutamate. So I cut that stuff out of my diet immediately, and then I learned about hemp and hemp seeds, and how they're so healthy. And just by learning about hemp seeds, I learned about how protein works. And just from that, I was like, oh, I guess I don't need to get protein from animals. And I kind of learned that around the same time that I was in a band with a bunch of dudes that were vegan for ethical reasons. So I just kind of transitioned to vegetarian from that. Then I watched Earthlings. And if you haven't seen that, don't watch it. You already know how abused animals are. You don't need to watch it. But I watched that, cried the whole time, went vegan after that. But eating really shitty vegan, like a lot of people do. Tons and tons and tons of just like bread, and because it's vegan, so it's all good. And baked, like cooked things, and Morningstar, like patties that you know, a lot of them are vegetarian. A lot of them have eggs in them and stuff like that, and vegans don't know that. But a lot of just like things to eat because they were vegan, those vegan cookies and stuff, and just a terrible diet to have. Sorry, my hair is bugging me. Okay. And then basically, I was just vegan and not very healthy, and I knew it. I was like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But I didn't know about the whole raw food thing yet, or the life force and stuff like that. But a friend I met through that band introduced me to David Wolfe's book, The Sun Food Diet Success System. I read that book, which totally shifted me. He just made it seem so approachable, which was great, and just made a lot of sense, the whole life force thing and not cooking enzymes and stuff. And it's much better than his older book, which at the end of every chapter says cooked food is poison, which is ridiculous because this is not true. And David Wolfe eats cooked food, so. And basically, so I did that, and I transitioned. I was eating went from basically standard American diet, but vegan, to raw vegan, and I didn't know it, and really didn't get it. I was eating like trail mix from Trader Joe's, and unorganic fruit, and no salads ever, and not drinking enough water, and it was just shitty water if it was water, and stuff like that. Not feeling too good. And then I started, typed in raw vegan on YouTube, and found Matt and Angela Stokes Monarch, and the Life Regenerator, and all those people, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. It's like about quality, and it's about being able to digest it, and it's about your life, and it's a lifestyle, you know? And that's how I started my YouTube channel. And I kind of got popular or known on YouTube being raw vegan, doing recipe videos and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I made a video like a year or more ago that's titled, I Am Not Raw Vegan, because that's when I stopped. Or I probably stopped a little bit before that, but people just didn't get it, and I hope that's clear now. Here's what I think about raw vegan. I think it is absolutely crucial, essential, important, necessary, critical to know how to do it. And to know how to do it for at least a year. Just to know how. So if you ever need to, you can. If you're ever sick, if you have cancer, I don't know. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it like that. It's just more like, I do think it's a good diet to cleanse yourself, to just get rid of everything, and that's some of the good stuff too, if you're doing it a certain way. I personally think It's so hard. Everyone's different. I do think some people could live off a 100% raw vegan diet if they were taking lots of good, like the right kind of Chinese herbs, and taking tons of cultured vegetables and really good fermented things to get the right bacteria in there to produce the B12, blah, 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 blah. But who knows? I really don't know. I'm not God. Well, I am, but not all the way. And I'm not a scientist either. So I can't say that, and neither can all the other people that you watch online. I realized it wasn't working for me though when I wasn't building muscle. My hormones were out of whack. I was still just carrying so much stress, and a lot of it weren't mental things, because I can do all that stuff very easily. It doesn't really matter what I'm eating. Actually, it does. If I eat like a really heavy like cooked meal with bread and all this stuff, I'm not like very clear. But thankfully, I don't do that. Yeah, I just realized I didn't feel grounded. I didn't feel. I mean, I'm in my early 20s. I should be like all the time right now, like working out, go surfing, brah, go hiking, brah. You know, like think of all those dudes, my age, who are just kicking ass all the time, naturally. And sure, a lot of them eat a shitty diet. So the fact that they even eat a crappy diet and still have lots of energy, maybe it's because they're taking stimulants and soda pop and sugar, all this stuff. But anyways, I was eating the cleanest diet ever, and I just didn't have energy. I just didn't, and I was doing it good. But I think what worked for me is the main thing it allowed me to see my addiction to certain foods, which is probably the healthiest thing it did for me. My addiction to gluten, my addiction to sugar, my addiction to caffeine, maybe? I don't know. I never drink coffee, but like just addiction to foods that kick you up a notch. Sugar does that, gluten does that, MSG does that. So that was great. And so yeah, what do I eat now? I basically every morning. I eat very similar. I eat like a very similar foundation all the time. Like for about a month or so, I'll eat like the same foundation almost every day, and then just change it up with different types of things and different versions of getting different things. Like different kinds of greens or different kinds of fats or whatever. But every day I wake up and I have spring water and I add minerals to it. Oh yeah, that's what I said in the last video. Your body's number one food is hydrogen and oxygen. That's what every piece of your body requires to function, not even optimally, just to function. And the way you get that is water. Well, guess what? Your body's made out of water. So guess what? If you're doing everything else right, then your body naturally, as the holistic thing that it is, I feel like I'm talking loud because of the washers. As the holistic being that your body is, it'll function well. I mean, people fast and they're still alive, So there's something still going on there. And it's having your body's system work properly, and that's through the water and through the microbes. Your body is basically all made out of water and microbes, and the little part that's human is very, very little. You are not your body. I hope you got that by now. So the very most important thing to my intake is pretty much minerals, microbes, and chlorophyll, I guess, and sunlight and good air. So every morning I got spring water, I add minerals to it, boom, that feels amazing. And with all the minerals in there, your body is just functioning, and then I have a big old poop and I feel great right in the morning. And then I have a tonic, which is usually some sort of tea base, right? For the last while I've been using spring dragon tea, and I don't think I'll ever go back to anything else. From dragon herbs, it's like gynostema and schizandra and lycium and ginseng and maybe another thing, I don't remember. Excuse me. So I make a tea and then fill that up with a bunch of Chinese herbs. Chinese herbs have been like the greatest, are amazing. Study them. Check it out. Check out, what's this channel? Herb Gardener 00. I'll put links down below. Herb Gardener 00 and Zach Martin. When it comes down to health advice, get health advice from people who are getting the results that you want. Maybe I'm not getting the results that you want, but I'm just passing along information from people who are getting the results that you want. I'm still on my path too, So I make my tonic, bunch of herbs, and the tea, and then usually some really good almond butter from Chocolate Tree, which has been sprouted and soaked and sprouted with Ormus Gold water, and then ground up, and it's freaking awesome. And I feel really good having your body's actually ready to digest proteins and fats between like, I don't know, like early afternoon to afternoon. That's usually when I have my tonic. I'm usually basically liquids till like 1 or 2 o'clock. So I have my tonic, which is full of really good fats, full of all the Chinese herbs, full of really good honey, which if you have the vegan honey thing, I'm sorry, but honey fuels me really well. I'm here to save the planet. I'm gonna do what serves me the best. And then I'll have like a salad with tons of greens, tons of cultured vegetables, tons of avocado, and then just some fun things, whatever else, like a little seaweed salad or like lotus flower or spicy daikon or like just fun little things to throw in there. But basically just like greens and not a lot. Your stomach's this big. Take your fist, put it up where you think your stomach is. Makes sense. That's about how big your stomach is when it's not stretched out. It's really best, I've noticed, to eat, unless it's liquids, to eat, like, you could eat 5, 6 of these portions a day instead of eating like 3 like this, because at once, and then your stomach stretches, and then as it's digesting, it's still stretched out, and then you feel like you need to keep filling it in, because it's like, it causes a sort of discomfort as it shrinks back down, something like that. Anyways, greens, and then later I'll have some sort of like quinoa dish or something, or soup, or really good like sprouted gluten-free bread with like avocado and sprouts and stuff like that. Yeah, but my diet basically consists of tonics, salads, avocados, and then the occasional animal product every once in a while. Like I had a homemade gluten-free lasagna last night that had goat cheese on it, and it felt absolutely incredible. And it nourished me, and I didn't feel weird and anything like that. And actually, goats only produce milk if they're in a stress-free environment. If they're stressed out, they won't even produce milk. So anytime you ever see goat milk or goat cheese, that means that goat was happy enough to do that. And so that's cool. Anyways, so that's the food thing. I posted a thing, it's like, was that all of it? Probably. Anyways, I posted the raw bras. You probably heard of the raw bras. Everyone thought they were raw vegan, and they're not, which is great. They can be whatever the hell they want to be. They don't call themselves the raw bras because they're raw foodists. They do it because they're real. They're raw. They're like authentic, which is great. And I've talked to them personally. They're really good guys, smart dudes. What's it called? So I posted a video there at a farm talking about veganism, blah, blah, blah. When it comes down to it, back in the day, there was no such thing as vegans. Even if there were people who didn't eat and use any animal products, they didn't give themselves a name. They didn't judge people who weren't vegan. Because why? Because they're way too goddamn busy harvesting their food and growing their own food. They had no time to judge anybody. And all the other people who did use animal products didn't have time to judge vegans because they were way too goddamn busy milking cows and hunting and growing their own food and harvesting food as well. So at the end of the day, eat whatever you're going to eat. Eat it because it makes you feel good and it fuels you authentically. Sugar might make you feel good, but that's not real, okay? Raw vegan's great if you want to learn to cleanse, learn about your food addictions, and once you're in a place, and while you're raw vegan, eat tons and tons and tons of fermented foods. Keep your microbes healthy, minerals, keep your body healthy. And from there, assess what really works. What really, really works for you, and do that, because we need you to work. We need you to work optimally so you can be on the team and spread the light and make this world a better place with me. I think that's a good idea. So if you're vegan and you find yourself... I understand it. Like people who are abusing animal, or like, not the people eating them, but whatever. People eating animals and they're supporting a system that abuses animals. I get that. It sucks really bad. But any moment you judge them for doing that, you're not focusing on yourself. and you're wasting your energy, just focus on yourself. Every time, if you're vegan and you don't like people who are vegan, or you don't like the concept of people who aren't vegan, every time that comes up for you, do something to yourself. Do something for yourself. Do something about yourself to make yourself better so you can stand and be the example. And all those people will learn from you that way. They're not going to learn from you saying they're stupid or saying it's bad, things like that. I've tried it. I only have 10 seconds left. I love you guys so much. I'm just going to post another video right now, answer more questions. I hope this was cool. I love you. Just eat what fuels you the best so you can be the angel you're here to be and just have the energy. Love you.